Last week's big news was inflation readings. Both the CPI and the PPI came out really pretty. And mortgage rates reacted really, really well. So I could dive into those numbers because it's good news and I love to be the bearer of good news. But I feel like I have to address the elephant in the room. I know you guys wait on the edge of your seat for these weekly videos. I know that you lose sleep when I don't show up in your inbox. And I know that you think about me and my take on the market more often than you'd like to admit. And I also know that I went dark on you right after that strong jobs report came out. So I feel like I need to redeem myself. First and foremost, I was out of town for the 4th for longer than a week. Not fired. Sandy apparently delivers jokes a little bit too seriously, so I want to apologize to those of you who were upset. Or should I apologize to those of you who are upset to find out that it was a joke? Anyways, while I was gone, interest rates went up. In fact, I did actually consider not coming back because things were that ugly here. The culprit? That strong-ass jobs report. Over 200,000 jobs added. But that's only the headline number. Mind you, the headline number moves markets, so that sucked. But we have to look a little deeper into this because it's just as fishy as it seems. If we subtract monthly revisions, which were 110,000 for the prior 2 months, and the birth-death add-on of 60,000, there were actually only 39,000 jobs added. The birth-death add-on is for small businesses, and it doesn't get included or surveyed in the payroll numbers report. And there were also some interesting nuggets of information behind the scenes within the report. The first being that government jobs were up 60,000. So that means the private sector didn't gain any jobs at all. It actually lost over 20,000 jobs. Initial unemployment claims have skyrocketed, and we're now 45,000 higher than we were seeing in February on those claims. And the we're hiring announcements are down 87% from last year. That's all noteworthy information in looking at what's really happening in the job market beyond the headline number, and consequentially what we could see for the overall economy in the very near future. But I haven't even gotten to the real kicker yet. There was a big uptick in second jobs, multiple jobs holders, meaning people, Americans, who have to get an additional job and another source of income just to make ends meet. So while this jobs report isn't what it appears on the surface, I think that our Fed is actually pretty shallow. So I'm going to have to eat my words now. Based on the strong labor market, I think the Fed will hike next week, like 25 basis points. I know I told you that it was fake news and they were bluffing. And a piece of me still hopes that I was telling the truth, but the smart folks out there are building it in. And by it, I mean a rate hike with 100% certainty. The silver lining is the more aggressive the Fed is, the more likely we are to have other economic problems. I know I'm horrible for saying that that's a silver lining, but I'm looking at this from the perspective of real estate, which is driven heavily by interest rates. And as we've discussed here before, a recession would be good news for interest rates because while that kind of economic uncertainty is not good news at all for equity markets, it is favorable for fixed income investments like bonds. And if the demand for bonds is good, mortgage rates will stop being so fired up. Plus, the recession becoming glaringly apparent, the Fed may cut their rate, and that could mean even more cooling for mortgage interest rates. The other reason that I was MIA was that our team was at the Forward event in Las Vegas, and we got major insight into branding and marketing trends, as well as real estate news. We'll be going all over the branding gold that we got at the next Mortgage and Mimosas. I'm planning that for after all the kids go back to school towards the end of August, so save the date for August 22nd. My goal is that you'll leave this class telling yourself, I am a person you should never, ever bet against, and that's why clients need me on their side in this market. It's going to be all about mindset and marketing, which are two of my most favorite things. So, are the next 6 months going to be harder than the last? It's possible. Not because of a lack of demand from buyers, but because we really have hit a very bad, crucial point when it comes to inventory. We have a 3.1 month supply of inventory right now. We could literally double the supply of homes on the market and have the demand to just absorb it without even noticing. according to Lawrence Young, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. So while June home sales showed we were down almost 19% from last year, the median home price is the second highest that we've ever seen. So supply and demand, right? Less home sales, but prices are strongly supported. It's also important to note that a lot of the home buyer activity is happening right around that median sales price. And that's why D.R. Horton is killing it. They're the nation's largest home builder. And right now, they're reporting a 37% increase in new home contracts. They build homes at maybe not what we would call an affordable price point, but definitely a lesser price point. And that's where a lot of the activity is right now. So what do you do with this information? I'm personally going to take a break from making predictions because even I know when it's time to sit the fuck down. But I will continue with cold hard truths. And the reality is this may not be the market for everyone to buy in. But one point that no one can argue, stay in the game. This market changes fast, and you cannot argue with that. So if the numbers don't make sense for you to purchase right this second, or for your clients to purchase right this second, that's okay. But they do need to stay on top of their pre-approval and keep it updated. They do need to stay in contact with you, their realtor. And they should keep a pulse on the market. Because if we've learned anything over the last few years, is that when things change, they change fast. And every economist out there is saying that there's a lot of pent-up demand. And I don't want people to watch the ship sail on them again. So as the saying goes, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.